Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liza Shen M. De Los Santos, and I am the first reporter of the pre-colonial period. So, before I start my topic, let me read the objective first. So, first, the objective is that understand how the literature started during the pre-colonial period. So, let's proceed to our main topic. So, pre-colonial period. So in pre-colonial period, the early Filipinos were composed of different groups that came from different parts of Asia. With the different groups, they formed their own community system of education and religious belief. So the first Filipino who really landed in the island of the Philippines was this tribe. But before I jump into that, mga migrants na nagsettle sa Pilipinas, let me read this one first. They possess their own systems of writing, knowledge, and skills in agriculture, metallurgy, jewelry, making, as well as the building. So, during the pre-colonial period, sa pagdating ng mga tribes na ito, the Austro-Aborigines, which is we called it now the Negritos, Agta, or Aita, and then the Afro-Asiatic, Proto-Malays, and the Mongol Asiatic. So, pag land nila dito sa Pilipinas, they have their own different belief, cultures, and systems of writing, knowledge, and skills in agriculture. Parang meron silang own knowledge because they were just a traveler na parang nakita lang nila or they discovered the island of the Philippines, which is not the Philippines before, pero pag nakita nila yon, and then parang nakitaan nila ng potential na parang mayaman yung island na yon sa resources sa agriculture, and then sa jewelry making, parang nakitaan nila yon ng potential. So with that case, parang they decided to join or manirahan na lang sa islang yon, which is the Philippines right now. And with that, yung pangatlong tribe na parang last na, o hindi siya last, but before the colonization, yung last na tribe na dumating is yung Mongol Proto-Malays, or also known as the Mongol Asiatic. So, sila yung parang nakadiscover ng seafaring, farming, building of houses from trees, and creation of fire, or parang sila yung nag-introduce ng mga to. So, parang with that, na-adapt yun ng ibang tribe, and nagagawa na yung practice na yun until now. So, yun yung parang mga tao na unang dumating dito sa Pilipinas or sa isla ng Pilipinas. And then, the next one is the culture. Yung culture nila is different, but yung one thing I know, or sa parang na-research ko, yung culture nila, different culture nila is yung parang they worship, or meron silang paniniwala na yung mga agriculture or metallurgy, parang they have different gods na parang yun yung kanilang wino-worship. Yun yung culture nila, because ethics of the Maranao people, the worship of various gods and spirits. So parang meron silang iba't ibang gods na wino-worship. Hindi lang isa, hindi lang dalawa, kundi marami talaga. And then, in their religion, early Filipinos worship a supreme being they called Bathalang May Kapal. So, during pre-colonial societies have their own belief system, often animism, Polynism, and ancestors worship. Some practice rituals, offerings, and ceremonies to honor their gods, ancestor, or spirits. So, isa rin yung sa culture nila, pero parang isa na rin yung sa religion nila, kasi yung religion nila, yung kanilang wino-worship lang din is, or parang yung paniniwala nila is yung tinatawag nilang Bathalang May Kapal. And some of these minor deities was the Idyanal, the god of agriculture, Sidapa, the god of death, Agni, god of fire, Mandarangan, god of war, Lalahon, goddess of harvest, Sige Narugan, god of hell. So as I've said kanina, meron silang different gods na sinasamba sa kanilang in the different system na nadidiscover nila sa island. So yun yung ano nila, and they practice na parang mag-aalay sila ng animals, or sometimes yung animals yung wino-worship nila, or sometimes parang rituals lang sila, or they're dancing around the fire, or yun yung mga rituals na ginagawa nila before, na parang way of thinking nila sa kanilang pamumuhay araw-araw at sa sources ng kanilang pagkain. And the next one is the language, and to be continued by my groupmate, Ivelyn Salyada.
So good afternoon everyone, I'm Ivelyn Arceliada, and this is the continuation of our report. So, language, they have their own method of writing. They use sharp pointed toes, leaves, bamboo, and trunk scheme. They write from top to bottom and read it from left to right. So, early Philippine writing system were pictograms or crude drawings representing animals and other objectives in 5000 BCE. So, as you can remember, Anya isa ka grupo, if mag-travel sila or mapadpad sila sa isa ka island, when they killed like animals like wild pig, turtles, and deer, yung blood nila, amo yung gamiton nila na parang ink, then they draw on the wall. So, amo yun yung gamit nila, or they use it as their communication if ever ang pay moabot na lain na grupo siya na island. And then, when the enter of Indian influence with from contacts with Indian states such as Champa and Sri-Vijayan Empire, so yung baybayin niya develop. So because of that Indian influence, niya develop yung baybayin. And I have an example of baybayin writing system. This is the example of baybayin writing system. And then, yung baybayin writing system, yakadepende siya sa region. So, I have an example here. Like Visayas, Ilocano, Kapampangan, Bicol, Pangasinan. Lain-lain yung kanilang writing system sa baybayin. And then, sunod is government. Government, the Filipinos live in settlements called barangays before the colonization of the Philippines by the Spaniards and consisted 30 to 100 families. So, before the colonization of the Philippines by Spaniards, the Filipino live settlements called barangay. So, dati, wagid niya lang city or just like now na ang kanatukuan. Dati is barangay-barangay lang. Then, yan na barangay, ang heads yan, like Dato, Raha, and Lakan. Depende siya sa region, doon ang tawag nila sa kanilang head. But, Dato, Raha, or Lakan, they are responsible and sila ni sabi mag-protekta sa kanilang communities. And then, every head, ang kanilang council of elders kung tawagon. Among yan yung mag-advise sa mga Dato or Lakan how to make a decision. And then, sa isa ka barangay, ang isab niyang alipin or servant. Ang duha ka kuha ng alipin, like alipin sa pamamahay and yung alipin slave ba or what we call that. Yung alipin pamamahay, ang kanilang sariling tahanan, ang isang pamilya nila, silang sabi yung just like kung tawagon na to, like housewife, kumbaga. And then yung slave is, among yan yung nga tumaghuya sang bay ng kanilang master, which is, among yung way bay, among yung tawagon na pulubi. So, amo lang and thank you.